If you can't be good, be bad.
Good times, bad times. We're back. Happy New Year, everybody. It's great to be here. And we have some great guests here today. I'm so excited. In the studio, we have a filmmaker, Jason. I want to say your name the right way, Spagnuoli.
Yes.
I said it.
Yes.
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 I was practicing on the way here, man.
That's great.
And we also have Austen. And Austen is an actor who just did a film with Jason.
Yep.
And it's great to have him here, too. We're going to bring him on the second half of the show. Yes. But right now, I want to start off with Jason. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about your history a little bit.
Sure.
Okay, so you were born and raised in Queens.
That's right.
And at the age of 10, because Eddie Murphy, right, he was filming in your neighborhood, and you knew right at the age of 10 that you wanted to be telling stories and being a storyteller.
Yeah, I mean, so, third grade, I'm directing plays in my friend's living room, and I knew that I was born to be a director because I'm literally acting in the scene, playing Clark Kent, while I'm also telling him, you're doing it wrong. That's not how Lex Luthor would talk. You got to do it like this. And so, from jump, I knew directing was where it was at for me. It took me a while. But then, so I started coming to America. And before that, I thought all Hollywood all movies had to take place in California.
Right.
And then I saw a scene where Eddie Murphy, actually it was the girl he was in love with, is running past a car wash down the block from my house. And I said, wait a minute. That's by my house.
Right.
They filmed that in my neighborhood? And that was when I realized movies can take place in Queens.
Absolutely.
Right by your house. And
house.
If it's that close to home, you realize that you can actually do something like this,
Yeah.
Because you always think it's in Hollywood, it's in California. It can't happen here. It can't happen here.
Just had people like me, but
right.
people like, and then I saw Clerks in high school, and that's Jersey. But you see a couple guys working at a convenience store talking trash about their girlfriends and their day jobs, and I'm like, I do that all the time. So you can make a movie in my neighborhood and talk about the girls you're dating, and that's a movie.
Right.
Okay, I can do this.
Nice.
And now you went to school for filmmaking?
I went to SUNY Purchase for screenwriting.
Screenwriting, okay. And you learned the behind the scenes and all that stuff. You studied it. And now you teach at the Frank Sinatra?
Yep, Frank Sinatra School of the Arts in Astoria, which, because of my students, I went back to filmmaking. I took a hiatus, became a teacher, had a son. You get busy with life. And I wrote, but I just wasn't doing much. And then my students, who are amazing, they'll make 2 and 3 movies a year. And so I paused and said, no, if they can make 2 and 3, why aren't you making 1?
Right.
True.
And so back in 2018, I started every summer making a short film. And slowly but surely, I re-identified my voice. Last summer, the film I made, Lenny, really solidified all my stuff, I think my filmmaker voice. And then the one we just are finishing, Two Wrongs, which you guys saw.
Right.
Now I'm like, okay, now I know the stories I want to tell.
Right.
Beautiful.
You like to tell stories that actually kind of help people or draw attention to problems that some people might have, right?
Yeah.
So Stacey, I just want to say before we start, Happy New Year to you.
Yo, Happy New Year, Joey Petroni.
And I sent you the 2 films that Jason, we both watched them. And what'd you think? I mean, I know what I thought, but...
First of all, I was excited to see that there was something different on the table. I think a lot of movies right now, at least from my perspective, are like fantasy. Your movies are specific to experiences I think that people are part of in their everyday lives, but they don't even know like how serious it could be. So that was like profound for me to see that. I think that was, and it was very well done. Like very well done. It looks like something that I would see in a theater. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, definitely. I got drawn into Lenny when I saw Lenny. I got drawn right into it. Yeah, you actually felt.
Hear more about that.
Did you see Lenny? Did you watch the one?
Of course. That's why I said I want to hear more from your perspective.
I got drawn right in. Like you said, you felt sorry for the character, and I can relate to the character. It's almost like he had an eating disorder, right? And you can relate it to any problem you might have. It could be smoking. You want to go outside and smoke, and you can't get out of that. So it's any kind of disorder, any kind of dysfunction that you have that he's trying to kind of hide and deal with. And it was really well done. I mean, it was heart wrenching, man. It was very.
I can't do it without. It takes a team.
Right.
So whenever I make a movie, my friend's a designer. He'll do the posters, and he'll always say, "Should I put a film by Jason Spagnuoli?" No, a film directed. But I don't do it without the team. Whether it's Austen as a collaborator, or I mean, I got so lucky with those actors. Mark, who played Lenny, and then Morgan, who played Jeremy, the father in Two Wrongs. I mean, even like the kids in Two Wrongs, the teenagers.
Yeah, like, the basketball players.
And they're some of them are actors, but the lead kid who gets into the fight, spoiler alert, it's his first movie, first time acting. Wow. He's 20 years old. He works at Home Depot. Wow. And he was like, I'm going to put myself in backstage. But his audition was terrific. And it was just like, he's a raw talent.
Yeah. Right. So you have great actors in both films that you did. And that's
thank you.
Made it so believable, you know? And, you know, like, are they 10 minutes? Are they both 10 minutes?
Lenny's 12 and change, and Two Wrongs is almost 9.
9 minutes. It's cause for that 12 minutes, there's a lot packed in there, man. It's like you get right to the point. I mean, not that you'd want to, or you could actually stretch that out to a movie because it's all there. You know, you're just not putting in like they're going out, you know, all the, you know, silly stuff. But you got right to the point of the movie, and it was excellent.
Thank you.
So the movie Two Wrongs is the one that Austen is in, and that's a great movie as well.
Austen killed it.
Austin killed it.
Great.
Killed it. Great job.
And the dad, who's the dad?
So Morgan is short version of a long story. I have a writing coach that I work with bi-weekly because not just for motivation, but because I want to cut out that middleman of having to wait to see if an idea is flourishing. So I've got somebody who kind of pushes me, almost like a sensei or a trainer. So I was talking to her about casting Two Wrongs, and I asked her to read it, actually, the screenplay, before we shot. And she goes, I actually know a guy in the New York area who I think would be terrific for that part. I said, hook me up. And when she put me in contact with Morgan, he looked like you, Joe. He had long hair, a beard, and you know he had gotten the COVID facial hair.
That's what this is.
Yeah, listen, this is mine too. This wasn't happening here. And so I met him, and he was just such a down to earth. And it was between him and the other guy that I was maybe gonna cast, and I think Austen read with the other guy. Was on the Daredevil show on Netflix.
Okay.
And he's done some professional work. And so my ego was like, you got to cast that guy. Because that guy's going to bring some,
reach.
You know, people are going to be like, oh, he's in this thing. I got to go see this thing. Right. But then my gut said, you got to cast the right guy. And Morgan was, Morgan
absolutely. 100%. 100%.
He just, I had him read with Austen for like a chemistry read. And it was just, he was real.
You know, for me, I mean, for you too, probably, you get drawn into the guy's character. Like, you really feel for that guy. And I can relate to him 100%. That there's a scene in the movie that kind of happened with me. I could tell you what it was. I mean, when I first moved to Massapequa, you know, my kids are going into kindergarten. So my wife works in the city, so she goes off to the city. And masculinity, right? Is that what this is all about? So I'm driving with 3 kids with car seats behind me with pink diaper bags, you know, and here I am doing it every day. And then one day I'm driving down the block at a stop sign. The guy goes through the stop sign and, you know, almost broadsides my truck. And the old Joey Petroni would have, you know, but he actually went after me. He pulled over, he starts cursing me out and goes, F this, F that, you know, my effing kids and this, like as if I was to do something wrong. And I said, hey, listen, man, if you really cared about your kids, you wouldn't be cursing in front of them. You know? And then he kept going and going and going. I said, all right, listen, I got an idea. Let me go up to this house over here and see if they'll watch my kids while I kick your ass. I mean, seriously, I need somebody to watch my kids. You want to fight? You know, then someone has to watch my kids. I'm gonna be responsible about this.
Responsible parent.
And then we'll fight. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So I could relate to it, but if you don't mind, we're going to show a clip of your movie right now.
Yes,
and the viewers out there will see more of what I'm talking about a little bit of road rage type of thing, and how Morgan handles the situation.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So let's take a quick look at this clip right now.
fuck you doing? Where the fuck you think you're going?
Listen, my bad, man. I'm sorry.
My
I was
bad?
wrong. I'm sorry.
Bullshit, my bad. Got a kid in the car with you? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Fucking asshole.
Fuck you. Cock.
Why didn't you say anything?
What am I gonna say?
Gary would have said something.
Yeah, well, Gary's a cop.
So?
So?
Fucking pussy.
What? What'd you just say to me? What'd you just say, Aunt? You know what? Fuck it. We're not going to the fucking movies.
What the hell?
What the hell? Your mother says you gotta practice driving the lane. You're afraid of contact.
I already did it with Gary.
Yeah, well, Gary's not your fucking father.
Jason, that is awesome, man. What'd you think, Stacy?
Guy's crazy.
Guy's nuts.
Guy's crazy.
Yeah.
I get it though. I get it. Like sometimes there's gonna be things that are gonna happen, and you just go into react mode. Like
Right.
you don't even think. You're just like ah. But
Now, I think the dad played it right, and then I also think, even though the guy got out, it was road rage, right? Mm-hmm. And he did say you got a kid in the car, and it looked like he backed off because of that.
yeah,
So it was handled the right way. But now my kids never said it to me, but I always thought my son's thinking it when Austen calls his dad a pussy. Like, that's how you feel. When you walk away from this crap, that's how you feel as a parent. And are you teaching your kid the right way? Because I'm always thinking to this day, my son's walking away from situations. Is that the right thing? You don't want him to fight, but maybe he should be more confrontational. Maybe he's passing up on something. Maybe he.
It's so challenging, right? It's like, and I grew up in Queens, and it was like, if you don't defend yourself physically, you're a punk. But then if you defend yourself physically, like I'll never forget, my father was driving and I was in the back seat, and he was like flipping the bird to some guy on the road, and the guy pulled a gun out and flashed it in the rearview mirror, and my father became petrified, as he should have been. And it was a lesson for me of like, wow, you fly off the handle, you don't know who you're going to deal with. And I'm guilty of flying off the handle, and actually that scene is based on reality. So that didn't exactly happen. Like everything I write comes from a place of truth. I just sprinkle the sprinkles of fiction on top to make it, dramatic. But it was a snowstorm, and admittedly, I was riding the tail of a sand guy. The sanitation workers put the sand down because I'm in a rush to go. I don't know where in the snowstorm. No patience. And he pulled over and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "You know what? You're right. I'm wrong." But my son was not in the car, and nothing happened. But I said to myself, and then the whole thing with his son calling him a pussy, that happened to me with my son, but at Six Flags. I was too afraid to ride the front car on Nitro. I rode the middle. He's like, "I'm going to go on the front." And I was like, "I'm going to go in the middle. I'm all right."
right.
And he was like, "Oh, you're such a pussy." And I was like, but I didn't get mad. I was like, yo, bro. No, I'm not. I'm safe. I don't want to die. I love you. If you die, I'll be at your funeral. So, I took those two things, put them together, and said, what would happen if this kind of a guy on this kind of a day, who is in a situation with co-parenting, and you get the idea that, there's other guys in his life, and I have one Saturday to prove to my son that I'm everything and more, and this kind of stuff goes down. How am I going to handle it?
Yeah.
What's in the movie, you kind of answer a lot of questions, because one of the questions you have is, if you do handle it like he did on the basketball court, he didn't feel good afterwards. He knew he did it wrong, and that's why it's called two wrongs, because he handled it thinking he did the wrong thing the first time by ignoring it, right? And then he handles the situation, he feels even worse. So that answers the question for a lot of people.
But look at how his son looked at him after the fact. Isn't that
Like a hero.
Yeah,
like he's his
I
hero.
found that very
Dad,
interesting.
you kicked his ass.
Yeah,
Dad.
before he was like, you know what, but
Right.
now it's like, oh man, you're my dad. Do it again.
right. Now he wants to hang out with his dad.
Yeah, exactly.
My dad's super cool. Forget Gary.
Yeah.
Dad, let's go hang out in bars and get into bar brawls.
Right.
But that's funny, right? Because when I was writing it in the initial drafts, the son was disappointed in him, and the father was hyped up, like, look what I did. And the son's like, what did you do? And I was talking to my son and just thinking, I'm like, that wouldn't be the way it would go down. The kid would be like, because he's the kid that got in a fight at school. It's like, yo, you're the man. And then I asked actually, it was, again, based on my son, We went to the park once, and there were some teenagers acting rowdy, and I went over and told them, no, cut it out. I got to. My son's younger than you.
Yeah.
Know your role.
Right.
And we were reflecting on that, and my son said to me, I thought you were the man, Dad. I thought you were going to kick their ass. And I was like, I was embarrassed that I told these 16-year-olds off. You thought I was the man?
Right.
So I was like, okay. I had to think of the mind of like a 15, 16-year-old. How would they react if they saw their father do what he did?
Right.
So
It's tricky. It's so tricky.
Well, you know what happens as you get older and then you have kids.
Yeah.
You're doing this in front of your kids. But
Yeah.
like before that, you have a girlfriend or a wife. Like my wife and I, when we were dating, we went to see Aerosmith. And the guy behind us was singing every freaking song. My wife's like, I came to hear Steven Tyler sing, not this guy. He had a good voice. I mean, it didn't bother me. But she's like, I can't even hear him sing. All I'm hearing is this guy behind us. So she had a problem with him. And next thing you know, like that, him and his girlfriend, they're kind of like, because I guess he's in a band. And I could care less, but I'm getting drawn into this situation now, and I don't even care. And it worked out to be cool, but it was out in the parking lot type stuff, and it turned out where everybody was cool, you know. But it's a situation that I handle differently, you know.
Yeah.
You see it in sport events. You see, you know,
it happens everywhere.
How stupid is it? You go to a football game to watch the Jets, or right? You go to a football game. How dumb is it that you work all week, you go to enjoy yourself, and you break your nose because you know Eagles fan or another fan, you disagree with a fan, and now you got a broken nose. It's like it's so because now you know for the spur of the moment, that spur of the moment, even in two wrongs, that spur of the moment is the rest of your life.
and it's just that like explosive emotion, right? 'Cause I see it in dudes. Like I'm a dude, but I'm not like a dude's dude. I'm like an artist and I'm a filmmaker, and I'm sensitive. But you see it in the dudes, like maybe like yourself, Joey, like who just. I think people who are reactive like that are highly emotional and volatile.
Well, of course, they care.
Now, I'm emotional, but I go the other way. With fight or flight, I'll see you later.
Right.
I don't need to do this.
Right.
But there's the fight. And I mean, I've been in situations when I was a teenager where I fought, but I don't know if it's just time, maturity, or who I really am. Because you're a teenager, you got that facade. But yeah, I see it all the time in men. It's like, they feel like they can't back down. They're too proud. They're too pride. And even in 2023, it's like, after everything we've been through, it's like, no, I'm going to show you I'm the man.
Yeah.
Well, that's basically in 9 minutes, right? As you said, in 9 minutes in two wrongs, you summed all that up perfectly.
Thank you.
You know, you really did. It shows you both sides. It shows you how he backed off, and then it shows how. And the right thing, I think the right thing, anybody who agree, is to just walk away.
I mean, you could try.
You know, impress your kid a different way. You know?
Let me ask you guys, what did you think? Because I'm always curious to, if it's okay if I ask you guys a question. Like, what is your thought process about why the father approached those teenagers? Like, what was the provocation there, you think?
Okay. You want to answer?
Go first?
Go ahead.
I'm still thinking.
All right. I really do think that he didn't like them smoking or whatever they were doing, and he didn't want them doing that in front of their son. And I think he wanted to stand up to them and show his son that that's wrong. And then they started to be wise guys, and then he couldn't hold back. Probably would have held back. I think he would have held back if he didn't have that little traffic incident.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I think he brought a little bit of what happened from the traffic incident. And from whatever, I'm pretty sure, we could say what his childhood could have been like. You know what I mean? And how he was raised and what he saw and what could have encouraged him to kind of step to those guys. I mean, should he have said something to them? Absolutely. I think he should have said something to get on, to be rolling on the ground. And I don't think that was a good
I didn't see that coming. To be honest with you, I didn't see that coming.
Oh, I did.
Oh,
did you? I didn't see that coming.
Building up. I was like, ooh, don't do that.
Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna beat the crap out of the kid. I mean, I shouldn't give that away, but I thought it would have been different.
Yeah, I felt it. It was like
escalating.
It was brewing.
It was escalating.
Yeah, it started. You put your hands on me.
Yeah.
Look, I pray for you.
And walking away, like the title is Two Wrongs, and walking away, it was two wrongs. The kids were walking away, and they weren't. They ended it because they were wrong, and the dad was wrong. So it was just two wrongs. Perfect title for the movie.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. And Lenny was not the title of Lenny to begin with. It was called Foodie. And everybody watching the rough cuts was like, you're confusing me because a foodie is somebody who's really into food and this guy is not. I'm like, isn't it ironic? And they're like, no, it's confusing. I said, all right, well, then maybe I've got to change the song. I mean, change the title.
Right.
That's what Alanis Morris said. But thank you. I think it does work for sure.
Lenny, now that's a problem for usually overweight people, like trying to lose weight and that they throw up and they make themselves sick, and you don't realize there's actually people who have no weight problems who just have a problem,
Control.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
It's control.
Yeah.
It's and that's why I chose the character to be an actor. Is because I was talking to actor friends of mine. Well, first, so I was going to do a documentary about men with eating disorders because during COVID we watched everything, right? And a lot of the stuff I happened to bump into was like people with eating disorders, but it was all women, whether it was teenagers, mothers, adults, whatever have you. And it's listen, my heart goes out. Anybody that suffers with a disorder, my heart goes out to them. But I said, where's the dudes at?
True.
Because that's where my radar goes. Is what's the sensitive male's take on this?
Right. You always think of it as a women's problem with all that type of stuff. I mean, but men go through the same thing.
That to me is the stories I'm interested in, right? So I was researching it, and of course, the only people that did a lot of media on men with eating disorders was the BBC. The British. The British are, they do everything. Even The Office came first with them, right? So I found a lot of documentary specials from the BBC or the BBC News, and I'm watching it, and the guys are talking about like having bulimia, being anorexic, and I said, yeah. And so I started researching my own documentary. But all the guys that came forward were gym rats.
Yeah.
And their idea of an eating disorder was like, so what I'm trying to cut for the summer, like, I might skip a meal, maybe cut some calories, and I'm only doing protein. I'm like, that's not what I'm interested in. Or, like, I want to know about the guys that do the stuff that the women do that we don't hear about.
Right.
And then when I did more research on websites and whatnot, I realized, bulimia and anorexia is pretty popular, but a lot of the guys don't talk about that they binge and purge or they use laxatives.
That was new to me.
And I thought that was interesting.
Straight up, when I saw that, I was like, what? Because I've heard about, usually I would hear it from wrestlers, people that are fighting.
Trying to lose weight.
Trying to make
this
weight.
This is more of a psychological.
Yeah, this was totally different to see because, one, I didn't know about that was even a possibility. But it made sense for his character. Because you could see he was very strict with the timing and everything. I was like, oh boy, that's control issues. I got a little bit of that too. But anyway, yeah, I was just like, oh man, this is tough. And then I don't even know if you want to really discuss some of the scenes.
No, but if you live that way, right? If you do live that way, you really have to plan everything you do. No, but I do know older people who plan their day out on bathroom issues. They have to make sure they'll go to the parade by my house, see my kids in the parade, but they got to go, right? I'm like, why don't we get something to eat? No, I got to go. I'm like, all right. And then you realize it's an issue,
It made me, the laxative thing, besides the research, I don't know if anybody here's ever gotten a colonoscopy, but that's part of the prep.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that's interesting, right? If he used that for that reason and not for a medical procedure,
right?
That's what they're meant for. And then the other part of it is, just a control piece. And I talked to my actor friends, and I was like, well, what? And he's an actor, he's vain, and he hasn't been cast in a long time. And and all that stuff came through improv and rehearsal, which I am a big proponent of. Rehearsal is a big deal when you're making a piece of media. Some directors, they're like, we're going to show up, and, Spielberg, don't rehearse, but he's Spielberg. He can, snap his fingers and make the Fablemans. I'm not him. So, but rehearsal, we found that stuff in rehearsal, where the actor was, I don't know remember, but it was a collaboration of maybe your old headshots. You have your old headshots? Maybe they should be there. And you're kind of reflecting on that. And that's what stops you. And there was a lot more. Lenny was originally 21 minutes. It was a whole side girlfriend besides the other girl. But it took away from the actual meat of it. Too much
dialogue on that stuff, right?
Just focus on the heart of it. Short films, you got to focus on the heart of it.
And that's basically what your short films are. You told me on the phone that basically you're drawing attention to you're filmmaking. You want to draw attention to things that nobody else is really drawing attention to.
Yeah, I would like to do that, especially for males, middle-aged or 30 and up who are low self-esteem, don't fit the norm, the criteria of what a man's supposed to be. Those are the stories I'm interested in. People that struggle with, like, whether it's disorder, drug abuse, self-esteem issues, parenting issues. And, I don't remember who it was. It might have been Tarantino or one of those filmmakers. They said, if you are not embarrassed when you're showing a piece of your work, you didn't do it right. And when I show Lenny, I get embarrassed because I'm like, I wonder if they're going to see, because the guy looks a little bit like me. He's bald with a beard. I wonder if they think that's about me. It was just a coincidence that he was cast. But also the whole thing with what happens to the girl on the couch is like, that's so awkward. But again, another filmmaker said, put your version of weird on screen. My version of weird is that thing on the couch. My version of weird is a father getting into a rumble with teenagers. Because not that it's weird, it's awkward, and it's just, but who's the person that puts himself in those situations? That's who I'm interested in.
Right.
So Lenny is now being, can I mention where it's being hosted?
Yeah.
It's being hosted on Film Shortage. It's a short film website. People can go check it out. I'd love for people to go check it out, and please, find me on social or message me or leave a comment on YouTube. Not because I need the hashtag, but because I really I want other men and people who are related to people or friends with people or care about people that are struggling to know you don't have to live like this, where your life is dictated by a clock or a watch because of a weight issue that you may or may not have. Yeah, please, I would love people to check it out. But my student who's in college texted me last week. He said, Mr. Spagnuoli, I saw your movie. Because I posted on my social, and some of the kids, they follow me now, right? I said, oh, wow. He goes, and I want to let you know that I also struggle with an eating disorder.
There you go.
And here's a kid who was a baseball athlete,
Yeah.
thin the whole 4 years I taught him. You would never think it. But he goes, yeah, I always pinch my stomach. I'm worried about meals. And a few other people have reached out to me since that, at screenings or social or whatever. And it's like, this is why I do it. I'm not looking to make big bucks. It'd be nice to make a feature film one day. That is the goal. But I also want people to have a conversation like we are, because that's, to me, what good art's supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Right. You're showing people you're not alone.
Yeah. That's what I love about these films, because it's starting the conversation. And like I said, a lot of the movies out there, I'm not saying that there's not movies that are great that are, being shown right now, but as far as starting a conversation that hasn't been heard before, or hasn't been as frequent,
Or uncomfortable.
extremely uncomfortable, especially, with the eating disorders. I think the first film,
Lenny.
No, not Lenny.
Two Wrongs.
Two Wrongs, sorry. I think that's a little bit more common. Like, we could be like, oh, that's Joe. Like, we all know Joe. You know what I mean? But I think Lenny, at least for me, that one hit me the hardest. I was like, what? Like, did I just see what I just saw? Like, it was very, very well done. And like you're saying now, you're going to get more, I feel. You're going to get more people reaching out to you, because now they're going to feel safe with you, that it's okay to have a conversation,
there you go.
which is amazing.
You're right. You're opening up dialogue with people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, so you're doing one a year now, one movie. So
Yes, I try to do one every summer because I'm a teacher.
Nice.
So
You're
I'm
off during the summer. Yeah.
But I think this year I might take a break because I'm developing some feature scripts, and what I would really like to do, I'm putting it out into the universe, is in 2024 shoot a feature film. So this year I may take the summer off, or I may use it to shoot like a proof of concept, which is basically you shoot like a scene like Whiplash. What they did was they shot the scene where J.K. Simmons' teacher was getting in the face of the drummer, and they just shot that by itself as a proof of concept, and he had J.K. Simmons at the time, so that helped. But he shopped it around with the feature script and was like, here's what the idea is, here's the movie, and I've got J.K. What's up?
Right.
I don't have J.K., but I would like to find some actors and maybe shoot a proof of concept. I got a couple of features, and I'm going to choose one and then start looking for money. And I even signed up yesterday for a sabbatical workshop. It's taking place next month because I would need a spring semester off to do pre-planning so I could shoot it in the summer. But that's the goal, is to onwards and upwards and just keep not just the brand, but like my voice and my stories and try. I just want people to have a conversation. And I think all artists like yourselves, we have to self-express or we will spontaneously combust.
Legit. Legit.
And this is how we
We have to.
You're right.
It's
one way or another.
legit for our survival.
Exactly.
Straight up. I agree. 100%.
And you're excellent at it, which is, it's not like some people need to do their little outlet, and it's like, come on, man, what the hell is this crap? But you're very talented. You're excellent at what you do. I love both movies. Very entertaining, and for a total of under 20 minutes, it's excellent.
Thank you.
I got one question. The 10-minute Two Wrongs.
About 9 minutes.
You don't have to answer. I'm just wondering, like, for me, I know when I'm editing something, how long?
Jesus.
How long? I mean, it's awesome. So you could say like a year, but how long does something like that take to edit? The filming's done. Now you have everything.
So we shot it in the end of August.
Okay.
And we locked picture in November. So it took me a few months.
And that's,
I think I'm sorry, I cut you
no,
off.
No. That's all. That basically all you, because you're working too. Like you have your day job.
I'm only cutting during the weekend. So what I would do is before school started, which was a very small window, I watch all the footage, I take my notes, and then I cut an assembly, which is like a really rough. And it was really rough. Like the first version of Two Wrongs, I was trying to emulate what I did with Lenny because I had some success. So I actually started at the end and told the story backwards, and I was like, this is not working. So, and then what I also decided was I don't have time to wait for notes, just like my writing coach. So I hired an associate editor who basically was like my fairy godfather. So I would just send him an edit. Here's edit number 6. Lose a frame there. That scene's weird. That take, is there a better take? So he would pretty much just like whisper in my, like, the editing whisperer, like, try that. And so I would just do that. So it was really helpful to have somebody. I was physically doing all the work.
Right. By yourself. You basically did everything yourself, but you had somebody on the outside overlooking.
With the edit, just give me feedback.
That's a huge help.
Oh, my God. Lenny, I didn't have that. Lenny took an extra month or so to figure that out. And Lenny was not told that way in the screenplay. Lenny is, beginning and the end. That's not how it was written.
Okay.
But, again, they say you make a movie 3 times. You write it, you shoot it, you edit it. And I love the editing portion. But, yeah, it took me a few months. And then once you lock picture, like right now we have the sound mixer finishing up the mix. The color's been done since, like, November. I don't do all that myself. I can cut the picture and put the movie together. Okay. But all the additives, it's not my specialty.
It's excellent. It really,
absolutely.
I'm just wondering. It's like I'm not a filmmaker, but I try.
How long does it take you to cut your stuff?
I get nuts with. I mean, I just did something. It was what was it? Just say 20 minutes, about 10 hours.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And 10 hours of 10 hours.
Oh no! But the cool thing is, maybe Joe, you can talk to this, right? Like once you're in it, you're in it. Like it's hard to pull you out of it.
Right?
Oh my God.
And you could agree with this, is that once you're editing it, like you could take shortcuts. I gotta go, but you can't, because you did that. The first 5 hours of work, you really killed yourself. You got to do the same thing for the next 5 hours. Otherwise,
can't it's like the sound mix came to me last week, and there was 1 or 2 things in the associate editor guy was like, I think it sounds great. I'm like, nope, this part and this part, and if we let it go, the audience will not know. I'll know.
Right.
And why we the biggest thing for
artists, it's gonna bother you.
And you have to have patience as a creator.
Yeah. Right.
Like sometimes I want my art now. Like you guys are comedians, you want that laugh now, but you have to work out the material and like
you want to see what people think now, but you're still about a month or 2 away from letting it go.
Yep.
It's tough. It's tough. What do you edit your video and your audio?
I just do, I try to do comedy skits and stuff like that. And, it's funnier after you edit it, and add stuff to it. You could take something that's okay and make it really funny. Lemon out of lemonade, or what is that called? You make lemons out of lemonade.
Lemons out of lemonade.
But yeah, I just enjoy it. I always did. But I've been doing this, video stuff. I was like the first kid in my block to have a camera or a VCR or any of that garbage. So I have footage from way back.
So you were cutting on 2 VCRs.
Yes.
I did that.
And I was holding up a piece of paper.
Your slate?
Right? And it would say, and now, and then be like, that was where my, all the way back. And the music was on a tape player, with the microphone. Yeah.
I did stuff like that. Yeah, that's awesome. What video program do you edit on, if you don't mind me asking?
Right now I'm using Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
Good.
That's decent, right?
It's a good software. It's user friendly. I use Premiere, but that's because the school, our kids use Premiere. So as a teacher, I get a free account with Adobe.
Yeah.
So as a teacher with your students, do they go out with cameras and film, or you just give them stuff to edit?
Oh yeah, no. We do, soup to nuts, man. These guys are writing screenplays, shooting them, editing them. They're super talented. I mean, a couple of my former students I hired to work on 2 Wrongs because they're like in college and they're doing it. They're super talented. Nice. I mean, that's why it was like a symbiotic relationship.
I wish that I went to school for something like that. Instead, my parents sent me to culinary arts.
Oh yeah,
that's creative.
Yeah, but why couldn't they put me in film school?
They needed extra help around the house. Be like,
no, it's just they needed me to pass to get the credits for college, and how can you mess up cooking?
Well,
do you still cook today?
I do. I do. Yeah. Actually, my wife worked in the city when we got married, and I did all the cooking.
I'm going to your house.
She'd walk in the house, and dinner would be on the table.
Nice. That's a good setup.
Yeah, but and I'd drive my kids to school with pink diaper bags, and I played the role of that, but it was all good.
You were Michael Keaton, Mr. Mom.
Yeah, Mr. Mom. That's it. And my kids turned out okay.
That's good.
That's why I can relate to 2 Wrongs so good, is because I was basically in that role of driving the kids around and trying to do the right thing.
That's why I relate to
at all times.
Eating disorder for Lenny.
Yeah.
I mean, my situation is a little different, but I had issues with my weight as well, and struggling with how I was identifying with how I looked. And I was going through extreme measures, I'll just say it that way, and I realized that it was not healthy at all.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Emotional
you're not getting nutrients when you're doing that type of stuff.
No, that's the thing. You're depleting yourself. If anything, you're starving yourself of what you actually need, and it's like you're harming yourself. You're causing self-harm. Like you're thinking it's self-love, but it's really not.
No,
it's really not.
Thank you for sharing that, by the way, Stacy.
Thanks for starting a conversation.
No, it's not easy. Listen, I think more people than we know, body dysmorphia.
Oh, ton.
And just societal measures, and it's control, it's health. But you're not getting nutrients. And self-harm, I'm not that I'm glad you said that, but that's what I think these people like yourself, myself, Lenny, they don't love themselves enough to respect themselves and say, I deserve better. So that's the self-harm piece is like, I don't feel good about myself. So what am I going to do? I'm going to control outward
every
things.
aspect. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Many years ago, thank God, but
good
crazy.
for you.
Yeah.
Want a cookie?
I told them, I was like, I'm sorry, I need pizza right now. I'll take it. I really will.
So, should we show a clip from Lenny? It's up to you. I mean,
yeah, you can show a clip from Lenny. I would love to. Yeah.
All right, so let's show a clip from Lenny right now, and then we'll talk about it when we get back.
Yeah, sure.
All right, awesome. Roll it.
Hey, I thought you said you were going to call first.
I did. It went straight to voicemail.
What's going on, Aunt?
Not much, man. Hey, you doing anything?
Oh,
good. Jump in the car. Come on, we'll go grab a bite to eat. On me, okay, cheapo?
I'm good.
Come on, get in.
I'm good. I got shit I got to take care of. I got rehearsal later.
Are you eating anything? Oh, you're still sticking shit up your ass. That's the...
Shut the fuck up, man. Jesus.
Maybe it's time you see a GI doctor, huh?
Yeah, how's it going with you?
Yeah, fine. Hey, are you going to be around anytime soon, or do we have to come over here and hijack your ass?
I'm coming around. Dude, I got shit, all right? Let me go.
All right, so that was Lenny. That very touching, very touching. Stacy, you could relate, I guess.
Well, I mean, I found it interesting that, he actually shared. I didn't think for his character that he would actually share that with his friend, which is interesting. but he called him on it, which I liked, because some friends, they're like, oh yeah, you got a problem. All right, well, you're fine, right? Like, but he's like, look, like, what are you doing? You still doing that? You know, but it was a very, very interesting scene. I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's why we put the guy in the scrubs.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it would fill in the blanks of like, well, he's a medical guy, so
Right,
he
yeah.
probably talks to his friend about it. And in my mind, you know, this whole thing with Lenny probably started with some digestive issues. And then when he saw that it could also do other things, it's the same way that people get addicted
Like
to
Oxy and
prescription.
stuff.
Right.
Yep. Same
I had an injury, but now I'm like, whoa.
Yep.
You know, I have something going on. Whoa, right? So, yeah, and originally that character was his brother, but they didn't have enough of a resemblance. So he just made it his friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so I'm going to put the link to Lenny. It's on Film Shortage, you said?
Yeah, Film Shortage. I believe it's .com, but I'll definitely give you the link, and please check it out. Reach out. I hope, you know, it starts a conversation, and just to know, like, you're not alone.
Yes.
It's okay, and it's even more okay to talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, they say the secrets you keep are the secrets that kill you.
Legit.
Well, I really I applaud you for bringing attention to stuff like that. Nobody else does, to be honest with you. I don't know. You know, you're doing all that work, and you're drawing attention, and you're doing good for people out there who are struggling.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for coming out on Good Times, Bad Times today.
My
And
pleasure.
it was really nice to have you. We want to have you back.
I'd love to come back. It was more of a good time than a bad time. So.
well, the bad times were, you know, was Lenny and
and the father. Yeah, I don't want to live their life, but I'll tell those stories.
Yeah. So we really appreciate you coming out. I know you got to get going, and thank you so much. We're going to bring on the child actor that you had, Austen.
Yes.
And Austin's here with us today. So if you do mind, we'll switch chairs.
I will give Austen my my chair. Guys, it's been a pleasure. You're awesome. Thank you so
Pleasure
much.
meeting
Thank you for coming
Can't
down.
wait to see the show or hear the show. or
I
both.
look forward to more of your work.
Me too.
That's good.
What's up, Austin? Let me give you this headset here.
He's like, hey.
I'm going to pass the headset over to Austin.
You got it.
Here you go, buddy.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes.
You're awesome, dude.
Yes.
Excellent casting on Austin,
Couldn't have made
man.
that
Holy
film
mackerel.
without him.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a talented child actor who's not phony.
No, he was great. He was great. I mean,
was
I've
very
seen him.
authentic.
I've seen him work before, but this was like a real role where he was speaking and he was really involved in it. You know.
I made him do homework, which I don't think he was happy about, but I think it helped.
It was alright because you had me actually watch shows that I liked for homework, and you had me come. You know the show Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so he had me so he compared my character to Eli or Hawk, like in the very beginning. Just compared some characteristics, and it was cool just because I actually love the show, so it was a lot of fun.
You're like, this is not really homework. Like,
Yeah,
I like
it was-
this.
It was for his character too, and I don't know if you love doing that, but I think it's important for actors to kind of really get in the head of their character.
Yeah, I've been in
Right.
acting class, so just I've done it before. Yeah.
He's like, "Pfft, I got
Right,
this,
it's
all right?
right.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
You.
Oh boy.
So Austin, what do you think about Two Wrongs, man? You had a good time.
It was a lot of fun, throughout the whole summer pretty much. We were on location rehearsing at the basketball court in the park. It was a lot of fun. It was just overall there were a few changes, and I'm getting to know Morgan. It was just a lot of fun overall. Yeah. Also, I play basketball in real life. I'm on the basketball team for school. Played travel, so it was pretty up my alley.
Yeah, you're very tall, 14 years old, right? So I mean, I saw you play basketball in Two Wrongs, and you could tell you played basketball. You can tell right away. So, but your role in the movie was awesome. You know, in the beginning when there was a little confrontation on the road. Is that relatable to you at all?
Not really, because my dad's 6'7". Nobody really messes with him, you know.
Your dad's not gonna have that kind of
We
problem.
don't have those kinds of problems.
If there's somebody who even gets a little bit like, oh no, he's never mind. Okay, we're good, guys. Okay, let's go.
Oh man,
You're well protected.
I'm good. We're good.
it's amazing.
So, so you worked on it last summer. Was it a lot? How many weeks? Was it a couple of weeks of work? How?
We filmed the whole thing in about 2 days.
Oh wow.
2 full days, but we spent a few weeks rehearsing.
Okay.
So I left early from camp a few times.
Nice.
You got a busy schedule.
Yeah,
How do you manage that?
It sounds like a lot, but it's not crazy to where I do get rest time. It's just that I can't procrastinate, you know.
I need to have him as my coach.
still I do procrastinate a little bit with my homework.
Yeah.
It's something I need to work on, but still, compared to a lot of other people, I can't procrastinate because if I do, I get behind.
You sound driven. I like this.
Yeah, you can't. Well, it's true,
be
though.
my motivator.
You get a lot more work done when you keep going.
Yeah.
Right?
It's amazing.
So now, Two Wrongs, have you, obviously you've seen Two Wrongs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you shown your friends and stuff like that? Have anybody seen it yet?
Not really. No, I haven't.
It's not really
shown
out there
my
yet,
friends.
right?
It's not because it's not finished yet.
Right. Especially now, we're filming Ebenezer the Traveler. We just started. It's well, you've been doing it longer than I have. You've been doing it
Yeah, so we filmed like the original trailer last April.
right.
And then we filmed the commercials. When was that? October, November. When did we film
The
that?
commercials were like
that was a while ago actually, like August, September.
yeah, it was like September probably.
I think it was actually September. And then we filmed 2 Sundays ago. Two Mondays ago at MLK Day. Right?
Out in Mount Sinai too, right?
Yeah, I think that was last week or something.
Right. That yeah, and that's a great setup to it. You got a nice crew out there. You got
Valente.
Joe Valente on the
Yeah.
camera. That guy is amazing. I keep saying it. I keep saying he probably thinks I'm full of crap. I keep using the same word. Amazing. He's amazing. I'm amazing. The amazing Joe. The guy, but, because I bought a camera when I was like 30 years ago. I bought a camera.
Right.
I've been trying to do. I can't even come close to Joe. But hey, listen.
Hey, practice.
He's a pro, man, and he's bringing Ebenezer the Traveler.
He produced the whole trailer in like a night. The next day we had the full trailer, fully edited.
Oh, that was that trailer. That trailer is awesome.
It happened maybe 15, 16 hours in total, maybe. Like yeah, it was.
Wow, I didn't
crazy.
realize it was done in one night.
It was right. Wasn't it done like pretty quick?
Yeah, I think it was like a night or two.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was really quickly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's really talented. And you can see the production quality was incredible.
Yeah, the production quality is incredible.
I gotta check this out. I didn't get to see it.
Well, for filming, this is what I can tell you for filming myself personal, is that when you say you film a scene, then you film a scene, you film a scene. Like I go home and I got, say, like Joe's probably going home with probably 100 scenes in one day. It's like a puzzle. How do you piece it together the right way? I mean, he's smarter than me, obviously, because your brain has to function a different way to
You
get,
know what you want,
scene
it
7, he
sounds
goes
like.
with this scene and that. But
Wow. I know about audio editing. That's as far as it gets. I mean, I'm just starting to, when we do comedy,
Right.
like edit that, but I'm not really doing it. Like I just throw it in iMovie and it's like, what's going to come out, But I'm actually, you were going to ask a question? Because I want to know, like,
go ahead.
how long have you been acting?
Maybe since I was 4, maybe.
Wow.
Like
10 years.
And you love it? Like,
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
what? I
Some
wish I
people are
knew what I
born to
wanted
act,
do
though. Some people
when
are
I was
born.
younger.
That's his thing, though.
I mean, you're great at it,
I've been
but
doing it for a long time.
oh, okay. You've been here a
He's
long
a
time.
the word is natural. He's a natural.
He's been here a long time. Okay.
the commercials we did, I did one with you, and then you did another one. There was 2 commercials that went on cable TV, right? It went on, I think it was News 12. It went on the History Channel,
Hallmark?
the Hallmark Channel.
But yeah.
Yeah. So the first commercial was awesome. You jumped out from behind me, and I said, "It's gonna cost you." And what'd you say?
It's gonna cost you plenty.
How cool is that?
It was funny, yeah.
The second commercial, you were excellent too. That's when you got the card, right? You remember you had to tap the card?
Oh, right, I remember that. Where like the card gets passed around the table.
Right.
Yes, of course, the Harrison Log, that whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You're a great character, man. You that scene at that table was awesome.
Good memory.
Do you enjoy auditions?
Yeah, I prefer the at-home auditions where it's self-tape because you get to do it over and over. Like, oh no, I coughed, I can do it again.
Right.
In the city, I live on Long Island, so I would normally have to leave early from school, maybe twice a week, go to the city, take the train or drive, whatever, maybe it doesn't matter. We would go into the audition, we would wait for, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, go in for 5 minutes, all right, bye, and then we go back home.
Okay.
One shot.
How do you deal with the nerves? Like, do you get nervous when you audition? Like,
That'll be just because it's all the same thing. I mean, at this point, I really know what to expect. Because you know what's going. If you know what to expect and you know what's going on, you don't get nervous. But if you're just, I feel like nerves are really just you don't know what's gonna happen pretty much. But if you know, if you really know what to expect and you're sure of it, you don't get nervous.
Very nice. I'm gonna write that down. I need this kid's advice. Like, not even kidding. Like,
Well, you have a good actor. When I was watching the movie Two Wrongs, right?
yeah.
you got I got drawn into it where you actually feel the movie.
Right,
When you have
right.
good actors, I mean, you played a great child when you called you. I don't want to say the word, but you called your dad a. Can I say the word?
At this
you called your
point,
dad.
Trust me, you could.
You could say you called your dad a pussy, but when you said it, it was almost like
It was like you felt that.
yeah, you felt it. You felt bad for the
Yes.
dad, man. You did a great job. You really did. Excellent work.
Yeah, I mean that's just credit to Jason because he had me and Morgan like just talking, just person to person without acting. So we just really kind of just became friends. So we were like more comfortable around each other.
That's good. Yeah. So
'Cause if it was somebody I really didn't really feel comfortable with, I wouldn't feel as comfortable calling him a pussy. I'm
Right.
sorry I said the word, but you know.
and then you were proud of him when he beat the crap out of those guys in the basketball game. You were celebrating.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But like you said, your dad would never have that situation because he's how old is he? 6 what?
6'7".
6'7". Holy mackerel!
It's huge.
So that'll never happen.
Nope.
When you were doing Ebenezer the Traveler, you were doing what accent were you using then?
Like a British Cockney type thing.
Can you say that line that you said? God bless us, everyone.
God bless us, everyone.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. I mean, one thing though, because a lot of times when people like do the British accent like for fun, like they'll overdo it.
Right.
And sometimes I'll just like go into a British accent just like to be funny or whatever. One thing I had to do just like to not overdo it because, even with an American accent, like I would like a glass of water. You know, I just. Like for a British, I'm not gonna overdo the British accent. You know, it has to be it has to flow a little bit, like someone's talking.
Stacey,
It's
can you
amazing.
do a British accent?
Of course. I used to do it occasionally.
That's not bad.
But I don't do it too much anymore.
Not bad. What do you think?
Is that
Not
all
bad.
right?
It's
I
actually
need work, right? I need a little work.
All right, let's hear your Russian accent. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
I have barefoot pit. I have wrestled him in the afternoon for fun.
Wow, that's crazy. And what do you listen to it on the internet or something?
I mean, yeah. So for Russian, I don't know how. I just kind of picked it up a little.
Wow.
I don't know. I just heard it. I just
That's really
did
good.
it for fun.
Can't take this. This is crazy.
Can you do a Russian accent, Stacey?
Absolutely not.
No? All
Like,
right.
I've tried. I'm trying to hang around Nadia more
Right.
so that she'll teach me.
So Austin, in the future, what are we looking to do? We're going to go to college for this? You're looking
Yeah,
to go to a
I'm-
college for acting?
I definitely want to go to college. My main goal is Yale drama because it's not too far from here,
Right.
and I feel like it is doable because I do well in school. I play sports and I am an actor. So,
Yeah.
So I feel like, and for my college essay, like I could talk about experiences that I've had as a child that nobody else can really talk about.
100%.
You're well rounded. That's what I would call it. You got everything going on: sports, acting, schoolwork. But that's awesome. So
I'm curious.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Is there a film that you've seen that you would love to be a part of?
That's a good question. No, actually, yeah, maybe Cobra. I mean, at this point, no, but just because I feel like they already have like a set cast and characters and they're wrapping up the story, so I don't know. And yeah,
But something like Cobra Kai.
something like it, just because I've been training in martial arts since I was like 4 or 5,
Right.
Nice.
so I feel like I would be interested in doing something like that.
Yeah.
What kind of training do you do?
I train kickboxing, Muay Thai, Taekwondo. I did do karate a while ago.
Nice.
It's awesome. It's great. Exercise, everything. It just discipline, self-defense, confidence, everything. It really just helps you
Absolutely.
in every aspect.
Wow.
Gives you confidence, right? Mm-hmm. Gives you confidence, and it's also
Discipline too.
discipline.
is
That's the
very
word.
important.
Discipline's very important,
Yeah.
and it keeps you in shape, mentally and physically. That's a good thing, man.
You're blessed. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you are blessed and gifted.
Yeah, you do a lot for a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
A lot. Holy
There's some
mackerel.
14-year-old just like, oh, just sitting at home like, oh.
Yeah, they're doing this most.
Yeah.
Still probably did it a little too much. I know.
But to even, I think for the way your schedule sounds like you are hyper disciplined, and that is a very good quality to have. To just be starting, as far as I'm saying starting because you're 14, I'm like 37. So for a kid to have that, you're fine.
Yeah.
You are fine.
Yeah.
He's set.
Yeah. You know you're going to see him on the big screen
You gotta
someday.
thank mom and dad, okay?
You know that.
Because they
And we
made
could say
sacrifices.
we knew Austin when. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that kid. I remember when he was 14 doing accents.
So, Austin, I heard that you also play guitar.
Yeah, I've been doing that for a while too. It just kind of complements me with acting and everything. It's also just a lot of fun. You know, I love 80s, 90s rock and stuff like that.
It's a good era.
That's awesome.
My opinion, the best era.
You could do Master of Puppets?
I mean, among other things, I mean, really the only reason why that song is popular now is because of Stranger Things.
You're right. These TV shows today are bringing back old music.
Yeah.
Because I'm a DJ and I'll be doing a block party or something, and someone's asking me to play like Master of Puppets. I'm like, what?
Again?
Thank you, Stranger Things.
I know, it's like, I'll have somebody over like, hey, can you play the Stranger Things song? Really?
It's not the Stranger
Things song, really?
Right.
So you are definitely very, very talented. Guitar playing, martial arts, acting, basketball, sports. What other sports?
Mainly just basketball and like Muay Thai and stuff.
Nice. Running? You a jogger? You do track?
I mean, I did cross country this past year, and I always placed really well.
Wow.
And I'm gonna do spring track.
I got
Field.
I would think you're very fast because you got long legs. Wow.
Get that
Yeah,
from
you were
Dad.
tall.
Get that from Dad. Thanks to Dad.
It's like, thanks,
That's
Dad.
awesome. So you're taking singing lessons. You play guitar. You're gonna have so many different options as you get older.
I feel like
You're gonna have so many different
having
options.
all those options will also help me with what I eventually choose to do.
Right. Yeah,
That's
you're
how
gonna
you
have
learn who you are, right?
Yeah.
Like by having different experiences and different avenues.
right.
So, I mean, I hope, somebody that's listening is like, oh, maybe I should just try and see what happens, because you don't know.
You can't have the I can't do that attitude.
Right.
You can do anything.
Absolutely.
Right, Austin. You're a perfect example of that.
Makes sense. I love it.
Very cool. So I'm looking forward to being in this movie with you, Ebenezer the Traveler. We have, I guess we're starting filming now, so we have a whole couple of months coming where I'll be running into you and working together. That's going to be awesome.
All throughout February, right? We're filming.
Yes. So we're going to have a good time, man.
It's gonna be great.
Great people, great cast, and Joe Valente, great guy, great producer, great cameraman. We're gonna have a blast. I can't wait to see the finished product. And Stacey, you're more than welcome to come down one time and check it out if you want.
Heck
Maybe
yeah.
you could be an extra in one of the scenes or something like that.
Let me just sit there with some tea.
I'll-
I'm like,
you get to see Austin
yeah.
at his craft.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Austin, one way of people out here finding Austin is Austin.Shane, right?
Instagram, yep.
At Instagram. So go to Instagram.
follow you.
You follow Austin.Shane on Instagram.
One more thing, my name's spelled Austen, not I-N.
Right, AUSTEN.Shane on Instagram. I'm gonna
Austin.
All my friends call me Austin. All right, so on basketball, there was another Austin, like AUSTIN, versus me, AUSTEN. So even my friends, they all call me, hey, Austin, instead of Austin. It's
10 and 10.
kind of funny. Or sometimes there'll be the occasional Austin 987654331.
It's a good way to remember it.
So I look forward to it. We're gonna have a great time, and thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you.
Great work.
Yeah, it's a pleasure meeting you.
Great
You
work.
too, yeah, it's nice.
Very
Great work
great
in two
personality.
wrongs. Great work in two wrongs.
Yes.
Thank you, Jason, once again for being on the show today. And we're gonna have you guys back in the future. And I will see you on set, Austin.
It's like, I'll see you at work.
I'll see you at work.
Yes, you.
I'll see you on set's another way to say it. I'll see you at work. Austin.Shane on Instagram. Follow him. Peace out.
If you can't be good, be bad.